Children's Classics in Dramatic Form by Augusta STEVENSON. The Story of Ali Cogia. Scene 1. Time, one evening. Place, the house of a merchant in Baghdad. The merchant and his wife are at supper.
Our neighbors bought some fine olives today. It has been a long time since we have had olives. I'm quite hungry for them.
Now you speak of olives, you put me in mind of the jar which Ali Cogia left with me.
Pointing to a jar in another part of the room.
There is the very jar waiting for him against his return.
Certainly he must be dead, since he has not returned all this time. Give me a plate. I will open the jar, and if the olives be good, we will eat them.
Pray, husband, do not commit so base an action. You know nothing is more sacred than what is left to one's care and trust.
But I am certain Ali Cogia will never return.
And I have a strong feeling that he will. What will he think of your honor if he finds the jar has been opened?
Surely a jar of olives is not to be guarded so carefully, year after year.
That is Ali Cogia's affair, not ours. Besides, the olives can't be good after all this time.
Taking a plate.
I mean to have a taste of them, at least.
You are betraying the trust your friend has placed in you. I will not remain to witness it.
She leaves the room. The merchant crosses and takes the cover from the jar. Looking in jar.
My wife was right. The olives are covered with mold. But those at the bottom may still be good.
He turns the jar up and shakes out the olives. Several gold pieces fall out.
What is this? Gold pieces! As I live! Gold! Gold!
He shakes the jar again. A shower of gold pieces fall. Dropping the jar in astonishment.
1,000 pieces at least. The top of the jar only was laid with olives.
He puts the gold into his pockets.
Tonight, when my wife is asleep, I will fill the jar entirely with fresh olives, for these show they have been disturbed, and I will make up the jar so that no one, except Ali Cogia himself, will know they have been touched.
Scene 2. Time, 1 month later, a moonlight night. Place, a small court opening upon a narrow street of Baghdad. The Caliph, accompanied by his Grand Vizier, enters the narrow street upon which the court opens. They are in disguise, appearing as merchants.
Perhaps we may hear talk of this affair of Ali Cogia and the merchant as we go through the city tonight.
It is possible, old commander of true believers. The affair had made great noise in Baghdad.
Ali Cogia carried the merchant before the Cozi, I believe.
Yes, he claimed that the merchant had taken from him 1,000 pieces of gold.
Proceed, I would know all.
Ali Cogia had left with his merchant, so he says, in a jar which he placed his money. Upon his return, which was but yesterday, he went to the merchant, and having received the jar, opened it. To his surprise, he found that the gold, which he had hidden below a layer of olives, was no longer there.
Ah, that is what Ali Cogia says. What says the merchant?
The merchant made an oath before the Cozi that he did not know there was money in the jar, and so, of course, could not have taken it.
And the Cozi dismissed the merchant, I believe.
Yes, Commander of the Faithful, the merchant was acquitted.
This Ali Cogia presented a petition to me today, and I promise to hear him tomorrow. Would that I could know the truth of the matter, that I may give a just sentence.
They arrive at the court, where several children are playing in the moonlight. The Caliph stops to watch them.
Let us play that the Cozi is trying the merchant.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Softly to Vizier.
Let us sit on this bench. I would know what these children are playing.
They sit, but are not seen by children. Taking his seat with great dignity.
I choose to be the Cozi.
Taking his place behind the Cozi.
I choose to be the officer.
I choose to be Ali Cogia.
Who chooses to be the merchant?
Long pause. All the children hang back.
Come, Tsane, you be the merchant.
Not I. The part does not please me.
Would you spoil everything, Zen?
Oh, well then, I'll be the merchant this time.
Officer, bring in the accused and his accuser.
The officer presents the merchant and Ali Cogia before the cauzee.
Ali Cogia, what charge have you to make against this merchant?
Bowing.
Sir, when I journeyed from Baghdad 7 years ago, I left with this merchant a jar. Now into this jar I had put, with some olives, 1,000 pieces of gold. When I opened the jar, I found it had been entirely filled with olives. The gold had disappeared. I beseech your honour that I may not lose so great a sum of money.
Merchant, what have you to say to this charge?
I confess that I had the jar in my house, but Ali Cogia found it exactly as he had left it. Did he ever tell me there was gold in the jar? No. He now demands that I pay him 1,000 pieces of gold. I wonder that he does not ask me for diamonds and pearls instead of gold. I will take my oath that what I say is the truth.
Not so fast. Before you come to your oath, I should be glad to see the jar of olives.
Turning to Ali Cogia.
Ali Cogia, have you brought the jar?
No, I did not think of that.
Then go and fetch it.
Ali Cogia goes. To the merchant.
You thought the jar contained olives all this time?
Ali Cogia told me it contained olives at the first. I will take oath that what I say is the truth.
We are not yet ready for your oath.
Ali Cogia enters. He pretends to set a jar before the cauzee.
Ali Cogia, is this jar the same you left with the merchant?
Sir, it is the same.
Merchant, do you confess this jar to be the same?
Sir, it is the same.
Officer, remove the cover.
The officer pretends to remove the cover.
These are fine olives. Let me taste them.
Pretending to eat an olive.
They are excellent. But I cannot think that olives will keep 7 years and be so good. Therefore, officer, bring in olive merchants, and let me hear what is their opinion.
Forward, 2 olive merchants.
The boys present themselves.
Are you olive merchants?
Bowing.
Sir, we are.
Tell me how long olives will keep.
Let us take what care we can. They will hardly be worth anything the 3rd year.
It is true, for then they will have neither taste nor color.
If it be so, look into that jar, and tell me how long it is since those olives were put into it.
Both merchants pretend to examine and taste the olives.
These olives are new and good.
You are mistaken. Ali Cogia says he put them into the jar 7 years ago.
Sir, they are of this year's growth. There is not a merchant in Baghdad that would not say the same.
Merchant, you stand accused. You must return the 1,000 pieces of gold to Ali Cogia.
Sir, I protest.
Interrupting.
Be silent. You are a rogue. Take him to prison, officer.
All the children seize the merchant and run from the court, laughing and shouting. Rising.
I know now what will be a just trial. I have learned it from the child cauzee. Do you think I could give a better sentence?
I think not, if the case be as these children played it.
Take care to bid Ali Cogia bring his jar of olives tomorrow, and let 2 olive merchants attend.
It shall be done, O commander of true believers.
If the olives be indeed fresh, then the merchant will receive his punishment, and Ali Cogia his 1,000 pieces of gold.
Starting off, stopping.
Take notice of this street, and tomorrow present the boy cauzee with a purse of gold. Tell him it is a token of my admiration of his wisdom and justice.
End of The Story of Ali Cogia.